Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well. This video is about Earth, really, but Tiamat. And the sort of history or legend of Tiamat and how maybe Earth and the Moon come about. So, in Mesopotamian mythology, Tiamat is a primordial goddess of the sea, often depicted as a dragon, who, along with her mate Aspu, god of fresh water, created the first gods and was later destroyed by the god Marduk. So it's kind of it's back to sort of the Nibiru crack and the Anunnaki and how they're like the creation story of the Mesopotamians and Sumeria and everything like that. It's basically like the Christian tale of how everything come about, like Genesis, but it isn't at the same time. It's all kind of been. It could have all been changed for Christianity. You know, I don't know. It's a weird one. It's a weird one. That's what we're talking about anyway. So Tiamat, anyway, the planet Tiamat. Um, it's I think it's Zachariah Stitchin who wrote a book called is it the Chariot of the Gods, possibly? And his theory was that the planet Tiamat was a great big planet that was a body of water. And again, here it says the Tiamat is a primordial goddess of the sea. So basically, a massive planet that was a body of water. And many things suggest, here's something saying, plot twist, moon formed within hours instead of millions of years. So the crack is that Nibiru, here we see on the right, or I'll try and put it on the screen bigger. Here we see like Nibiru's orbit, the planet 9, as I say, it used to be called planet X10, but due to Pluto being declassified as planet, it now gets called planet 9. So it's supposed to have, or its name in mythology or something, is Nibiru, and or what the people of the planet, apparently aliens called the Anunnaki, call their own planet, planet Nibiru. So here we see the orbit of planet Nibiru, 3,600 year, 3,500, well, 3,500 to 300,600 year cycle. And it goes off into the far reaches of the solar system and then comes back around and swings into the solar system. Obviously, crossing over, why it's called the planet of the crossing. It crosses over the orbits of other planets. Now, the theory of Tiamat is that in one of these crossings here, when it come into the inner solar system, it's actually collided, or a moon of maybe Nibiru, has collided with a planet called Tiamat, this great big planet of water. Now, this is why, again, with this thing here, say plot twist, moon formed within hours, not millions of years. Now, a lot of different people's theories link together here. Um, and I think personally there's something in this. And basically, this big planet called Tiamat body of water was struck by something large, i.e., like a moon of Nibiru, and from this it resulted in the and this guy here, this guy's theory, which has nothing to do with Nibiru, which has nothing to do with what I'm saying. It's his own theory and based on how the Earth come about, but it's absolutely coinciding with the planet Tiamat, a collision, and how Earth has some strange, underneath its mantle, it has some strange, I'll say, substances, and they were trying to figure out why why it had these things. And as this guy says in the video, I'll just play a bit of it.
Things is very different than them. Imagine if we have Mars-sized planet strike on the Earth, that energy is so strong. And Earth's atmosphere, surface, crust, mantle, core, will be completely changed in 10 hours. We couldn't find the evidence on the surface, but how about the deeper Earth? I was thinking part of the impactor's mantle may actually trap into the Earth right now, which can be seismically observed as two mantle blobs, as we've shown in the seismic images. The third evidence we have is one, the giant impact simulation show the giant impact didn't melt the whole Earth, it only melted half. That allows some impactor materials can entrap into the solid mantle materials. The second evidence, we constrain the chemistry of the impactor. It has to be chemically different than the Earth's mantle. Plume rising from the blob can bring some signature from it. Geochemists think these two blobs are ancient, it's very, very old. So in the third step, we have performed very high resolution mantle convection simulations. We put some dense iron materials in the Earth's lower mantle, and then we explore the Earth's whole history, 4.5 billion years. We see how this blob will sink down and also merge together and sometimes separate into different piles. It ends up with two blobs, and their size are comparable to the observation for the two blobs. This is a hypothesis, so we have some possible idea to test. This is the real case. So right now we have the Artemis missions. If we can collect some mantle rocks of the moon, we suppose it will have the same geochemical signatures with the blobs, because both of them are from the same ancient planet, the Mars-sized impactor Theia.
So, the Mars-sized impactor Theia. Now, it's a lot of different people linking, people have different names for different things, but to me, everybody's kind of sort of telling the same tale. And it was that there was a large planet in the solar system that was massively just full of water, basically, as Marvin would say. And this Nibiru or something come through the solar system, let's just say Nibiru for the sake of the story, and one of its moons, a giant body, struck the planet Tiamat, smashing Tiamat out of its orbit and into the orbit where it currently is. This is now Earth. Tiamat is now Earth. Basically, where Tiamat's orbit was, that is now the asteroid belt, and the remainder of the planet that got smashed to bits, it took up the asteroid belt, and bits of the moon that broke off become the asteroid belt. The moon, it become our moon, so that's where the moon come from, and why our moon is so large for our planet in terms of moons and planets. If they do admit that our moon is very large for the size of our planet, that's because our moon was never really part of our planet. It was attached after this collision. And as this guy's saying here, underneath the mantle, there's collections of stuff, and they're going to test the moon to see if the moon's what's underneath the mantle, and it's because the moon, in effect, hit the Earth, or hit Tiamat, destroyed Tiamat as it was known, smashed it out of orbit, put it where it was now, it become the Earth, and the moon that hit Earth become our moon. And there's a lot of people, again, this guy here in Caltech, his theory is exactly this. But this is in effect the story of Tiamat and Nibiru coming through. And when it does, it causes massive cataclysms. This also links into Mars, and people think Mars used to be an inhabited planet, possibly. It maybe did, but again, there is a big scar right down Mars, so something similar on a previous crossing, could have happened to Mars, and perhaps Mars was inhabited. Perhaps Mars was also smashed to bits by Nibiru's passing one time. Within obviously millions of years, a 3,600 year orbit's not that much, and this planet's been through many times in the course of history, you would imagine. So yeah, very interesting to me. But again, a lot of people, that's the sort of the history and the ancient story of Tiamat, but it's also backed up by a lot of people in science these days. So to me, I think there's quite a lot in this, and it also kind of explains why Earth's a jagged rock and not really a round ball in a way. It's definitely not flat. I'll leave it there, but the planet Tiamat and Earth links into sort of Nibiru and the Anunnaki.